Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to the NAO show, the show that you all have been waiting for. It is going to be the draft recap until I get fired. We start talking about something else. You know we are the three amigos. That's Marky Mark and the tank top Mike right there. Nice Romo jersey as always. How you guys doing?
Not too bad.
Fine, doing fine.
I
Nice
Oh
remember.
Parsons
shit, the
jersey.
energy in this room is just freaking astounding.
Nice Parsons jersey too, man.
Oh yeah, that's a nice Parsons jersey. One of my favorite players on the Cowboys right now. Can anyone guess my favorite all-time Cowboys player?
no, can't.
Drew
Nope,
Bledsoe.
not even a little bit.
Drew Bledsoe. Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny Testaverde.
But only because it has testy in the name.
I love a good testy. Yeah.
I'm.
All
I'm.
right, Marky Mark.
Are you gonna tell us your favorite Cowboys player? Or?
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on. I'm running this show. All
Deion
right, Mark,
Sanders.
let's go.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the draft, but before we do that, we do have a trade. We still trade in this league, man. Go figure. We do. We do still trade in this
Wow.
league. Haven't had a trade talk in a while. And it was with our buddy Tank Top Mike here, so we'll let him start it off. But the trade itself was the DBs receiving Dwayne McBride and a fourth rounder from Mike, and Mike received Kenneth Gainwell. Tell us about your trade, Mike.
Well, first off, Dwayne McBride was my Pro Bowl winning pick. I just want to make that known.
Wait, who else won the Pro Bowl?
Yeah. Wait, what year? This year or last year?
You pick one. We did.
Yeah, we don't need to specify.
Let me know when you guys are done, all right?
Man, I love bringing up the Pro Bowl. It's just a happy-go-lucky time. We always win, you know.
Ian's fast forwarding right now as well. But yeah, as we all know, DeAndre Swift went to Philly. I expect him to get bulk of the work, but it's not bad to have a guy like Swift's backup. We all know there's some injury concerns there. Gainwell looked pretty good at the end of the season. Stuck around after Miles Sanders left. Dwayne McBride was a nice start there. I drafted him with the Pro Bowl pick because
winning Pro Bowl pick.
Dalvin Cook was probably going to leave. Everybody knew that was coming, so I thought taking a shot on him. What else do you want to do with essentially a waiver wire pickup? You flip him for more value. That's what I did. Felt like I did. Yeah, Evan wanted a third at first. I said no. I could just draft another Gainwell or McBride with that third instead of giving it to you. It was nice to get a trade across. It's my first one for a while, actually. So
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. What do you think?
Well, no, I think I like what Mike did there because it really didn't cost him anything, so to speak. And he got a guy that's backing up two guys that are injury prone in Penny and Swift. Gainwell has had some good moments. I don't think he's a workhorse guy by any means. Good receiver. He was in college. He really wasn't a great runner, but he was a great receiver, and he's flashed some in the NFL, and I think he's definitely worth McBride in the fourth. I think he did a good job getting him there. McBride is he's an odd one. I definitely he was on my radar for fifth round or maybe a waiver wire pickup, later on.
Well, maybe
Because
if you won the Pro Bowl, you would have been able to get that guy,
I did pick him up with my Pro Bowl winning pick, actually. I don't know
Which year?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Could have happened last year, too, if he was in that draft, but...
how to kill people without people knowing that you Build down. Okay. All right. Anyway, How to Get Away with Murder. Okay.
Great show. It's a great show.
It is.
But man, McBride, odd thing about him, he's really great runner, good. He did well. He was in a smaller conference, but he dominated in that smaller conference. And the metrics look good on his running ability. Just no passing game. It's a very much an unknown. So he's definitely looks like a first and second down back, but he could be a good one. And so I like him as a dart throw, but I kind of like what you got a little bit better, Mike. Definitely because he's backing you up. But like you said, Cook is gone, so he immediately jumped up the depth chart. He's their guy. A little later round draft pick, but we'll see what happens with it. So good moves on both your parts, I think. So
So my point of view is a little more bigger picture. I like that the value wasn't uh, absurd. Like the trade was just straight up. Like obviously Gainwell makes more sense on your roster with you having Swift, and I think you were right, Mike, with holding to your guns with a third. Like a third would have been way too much. Like
yeah,
it would have just made it ridiculous. Like why are you sending? Like you said, I could draft somebody in the third round as good as Gainwell
yeah,
and better than McBride. But I like that. I like to see that the values of trades are starting to go back to normal or like more even keeled trades. As somebody that totally warped the values of players in the last 2 years and benefited from that. I like that my work is being reversed.
Well, I was gonna say one of my apparent superpowers is just waiting all you guys out and just getting all these running backs for way too cheap from what they were before. I did that with CEH. He was like 6 firsts at one point, and I got him for about the same. But I got him. I actually got CEH for about the same price as. Oh my God, he's gone.
We lost Mark. He's probably trying to figure out if the Pro Bowl was a thing.
Yeah, he's looking it up. Which year was the Pro Bowl? Now what do we do?
What were you saying about uh, you getting running backs at a freaking cost?
Well, I got CEH for Zamir White in a fourth.
Well, that was fucking rude.
Yeah, and
Why'd
now
you
I
have to
got
bring that
Gainwell
up?
for McBride in a fourth. So that's what I do. I just wait.
I guess that is your kind of your.
I wait until they're
thing.
useless and then I get them.
Wait until they're absolutely useless, then trade for him for a guy in a fourth. Welcome back, Marky Mark. Tank Top was just giving me the screws on CEH right now,
yeah.
saying that he just waits everybody out and then gets all the good running backs for a guy in a fourth.
You'll all see.
You'll all see.
Hmm.
Well, I think it was a good trade for you there, Mike, and I think the value was fair just because there is some potential for Evan, and he was able to stash him away on his taxi. He doesn't have to hurt his depth this year, so it was good for all parties involved.
We did it. We did it.
Maybe it will be the start of something. Who knows?
Wait until I get another trade across the line, and I'll just ruin
Screw
all
the
the values
up
for
again.
It's I tried with FNG, but man, that guy, he's tough. He's tough, man.
I was trying to trade Diggs and Cup at one point, and I was like, I'm okay getting like fair market value. I don't need NAO value for these guys.
The Sean value.
It's
You
still pretty
should've
high
said
though.
that.
Fair market on those guys is pretty high though. Even with them being a little older for Dynasty, it's still high value, man. Those guys are still way up there on the ADP chart.
Speaking of a trade like that, what about FNG making a trade like that, going from straight rebuild to if you pick up Cup and Diggs, that's win now, right? That's got to
Right.
have been in his thought process in trade talks like that. Not because maybe the value, but because of where he puts himself roster wise.
He has a good team. He has a pretty good team now.
Cool.
I'm just sitting here thinking about how you keep on mentioning FNG. I think the
Yeah.
man crush is alive and well.
If you had a genie, would one of your 3 wishes be about FNG?
Maybe. It would be fantasy oriented, nothing weird like seeing him naked or anything.
Like
But
That's
Fantasy
not fantasy.
Island, like you and FNG on an island.
that's the only way I'd get a fucking trade over the line with. All right, FNG, it's only me and you on this island.
You guys would be on opposite ends of the island, pissed off about trade talks.
FNG would just look at me and be like, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and just start swimming and just." You'd rather go to that.
Rather take my chances out here than talk trades with Sean. Well, you guys want to get into some draft talk? We're going to look at the draft board and give some random thoughts and talk about the grades that came in.
Yeah, we got some pretty toasty grades that came in from the line.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Everybody sending their grades in.
Yeah, nice to see some participation across the league.
Yeah, we'll mention it throughout the show here.
Oh, shout out to Humpty for giving us this idea for the show.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, absolutely.
I
Thank
give Humpty
you.
an A for that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Let's not
You
get
just-
too crazy too early here, there, Tank Top.
I
Give out
guess-
A's to everybody out here.
It's an automatic A for the idea. You know, we just A by default. Except I don't really like I don't like his first pick in the draft, man. Can we just go right to
I
the
was gonna
board?
say, if I get an A for the idea, he's not gonna get an A for this draft.
Let's go right to the board. We have a humpback swamp donkey. Now, okay, he did take Jackson Smith the Jigba at number 3. So that's a good one. But this number 4, Quentin Johnston.
Back-to-back picks.
No.
Yeah, he did have back-to-back picks, so we could have picked him in either order. Who knows who he liked better? We may never know. But I
hope
look at the-
hope it's obvious.
you what?
I hope it's obvious who we liked more. But
Yeah, yeah. You would hope it was JSN, but Quentin Johnston at 4, I feel like it's a little bit too high. He put out a little thing saying, who do you think who's going to be overdrafted? I don't remember the full verbiage on it, but it was, who do you think is going to be overdrafted? And I spoke up and said Quentin Johnston, and got a lot of agreement on that. And he ended up picking him at number 4. I feel like that's a little bit too high. What do you think, Sean? I know you're a QJ man. You picked him at number 8, I think, in another league. And you said he wouldn't have made it. You said he wouldn't have made it to 9. So you kind of liked him, I
No,
think.
he wouldn't have made it to 9. He would not have made it to 9. Let me behind the curtain a little bit in the Prince's draft camp. So I think Humpty got sniped by Brandon with Gibbs when he moved up to 2 and took Gibbs at 2, which I think if FNG kept the pick,
He probably would have went wide
he
receiver,
would've
right?
gone running back. He would have gone best wide receiver, obviously, and then
Yeah.
Gibbs would have fallen to Humpty, which Gibbs and then JSN would have been phenomenal picks right there at 3 and 4, and you would have been getting a value at 3 with Gibbs because Gibbs is 1-2 punch, and JSN at 4 is just butter, easy pick. I honestly thought QJ was gonna drop to down to Dilly at 6, and then when he got taken by Humpty, I was like, oh crap, who's gonna drop to me at 8? Because I was thinking oh, maybe I'll be looking at somebody like 7 Acre and stuff, and then I got sniped by fucking the DBs right before me, and then I just fucking QJ'd. So, but it is what it is. I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it.
So yeah,
What do you think?
But no, I honestly think QJ was about 3 picks too early.
What do you think, Mike, on QJ there?
yeah, on paper, I wanted to like QJ. You know, like we've talked about, he's not a good offense. You know, he could be tied to Herbert
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are gone. There's a lot to like on paper, and then you start looking into the player profile, the whole thing. I read a Jalen Rager comp at one point. Yeah, that was enough for me. I'm done.
That's good.
I'm done.
Threw up in your mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I think. I mean, of the two, I mean, I would have gone. If you're gonna go wide receiver, I would have gone Addison there. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that might have been a little early for Addison, but I do like Addison over QJ.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had QJ down as if he's there in the second, if I'm picking, I'll get him, you know. But I was a little bit leery of getting him in the first round. So
I think piling on to Humpy's trashy first round, look at his freaking. He bypassed Davon. Is that how you say it?
Devin A Chain.
Yeah, A Chain to get a backup or at least the committee in Seattle, right? He could have reached on Devin and gotten him at 4 and had running back, wide receiver because he needs help in both positions.
I think with this draft, I don't mind the wide receiver, with how it all, played out in the end. But
Yeah, no, that's.
I think, I think I would have reached on Addison if I'm gonna go there at all.
And he went next, to Goofy. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe Addison would have been a better pick. I will say, Landon gave his teammate a C- overall. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking
Gave himself a C-.
I'm thinking he wasn't a big QJ fan either. So
I'm thinking Landon's getting kicked off the team by the
he
time
might.
this
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He might.
Terrible.
That was yeah. I mean, it was all private up till now, but these guys are going to be exposed, and yeah, Landon wasn't crazy about what he did. Maybe he didn't pick enough guys he wanted, and he's just pouting a little bit. Sean, you see anything in the first round that stands out to you there?
I think Zay Flowers is going to be one of those picks that could potentially be a really good pick for Dilly, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I saw him play a lot in college, going up against LSU, and I always really impressed with him. And I think for 6th overall pick, very good position to pick a wide receiver. A very, very, very smart manager drafted Justin Jefferson in that position. So I'm not saying Zay Flowers is Justin Jefferson.
Nope, that's what you've already said. You've already said it.
Yep.
No.
Jack, no take back.
Nice job, silly.
Well, I was giving flowers to get it. Flowers to Dilly, but he is not Justin Jefferson. But I think he's going to be real good value for Dilly. I think he picked a really good guy there after the freaking wide receiver run.
Well,
I think the big question is, does Goofy really even want Addison?
I'd say the answer is yes, but that's a little inside information. And I have been accused of collusion in the recent past, so maybe I shouldn't say that. Can we edit that, Mike? I don't want to
cut that.
When I talk to Goofy, when I
I
talk to Goofy, I get in trouble. So scratch that. I didn't talk to Goofy.
So I think it's funny that
think
you
the answer is
brought
yes,
up
though, Sean.
Zay Flowers as your standout, and that it was a silly pick because
Because
Ian gave Dilly a D+ in the first round.
golly,
Is there some trouble in paradise?
I'm
going
thinking,
man, they fighting?
Their
DMs
there
must
could be.
crazy right now.
I'm thinking that Laporta pick had
plus.
something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
He picked Laporta at the end of the first round, and that may have had something to
Two
do with
tight
it.
ends and first round. Just saying. Dilly, your boy gave you a D+, and I'm giving you props. I'm just saying.
I think Trouble in
The
Paradise,
CS
man.
is giving you props, and your
Who's
boy
the real CSer here? You know.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, Flowers is interesting. Any other team, I might have been. I kind of had him and Addison neck and neck and seeing where they landed. And once that was done, I was definitely an Addison on the Addison side. Flowers, I think, is really talented, and just freaking hate that he went to Baltimore. Although everybody's spinning this narrative, they is Monken's there now. It's going to be all pass attack. Still remains to be seen.
All right. Let me throw this little story at you there, Marky Mark.
All right.
Zay Flowers is going to Baltimore, as we all know. Another well-known wide receiver is in Baltimore by OBJ. Some say that his whole career has been off of one catch. I think OBJ is a good wide receiver.
Okay.
Couldn't Zay Flowers and Bateman learn something from OBJ? Oh wait, Bateman has to be. My apologies. So I don't know. Zay Flowers could learn something from OBJ. Him being the if he's willing to.
Flowers is talented. We'll just have to see if they really depart from the run. And I'm wondering, everybody's got Monken having him being a passing attack, but they forget that John Harbaugh has been just fine with running the hell out of the ball for all these years. So we have to see.
90 times a game.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see how that all shakes out. Flowers is
Choo choo.
very yeah. Yeah. One more year. One more year.
That was my favorite week of fantasy.
Yeah. Well,
Every time.
Should we
Every
move?
time.
Should we move to the second round, gentlemen?
Ooh, I want to
wanna-
go to the second round.
Let's
You
talk
know what
about.
flies off the handle on the second round? Is
Let's hear it.
two quarterbacks being taken back to back by the same team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and by a Tennessee fan who traded away Jonathan Taylor because he couldn't stand to have a Colt on his roster.
That's right. Yeah.
What the hell, man?
See, I think you could debate if they went too early in a one quarterback or not. Maybe. But to go to the same team is is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Evan gave him an incomplete on this round.
Wow! Evan said incomplete on your roster. You said that you didn't do it. You have to do it again.
Do over.
And yet again, Goofy gets fucking boned in the second round for his quarterback pick. I mean, he does get Bryce Young, but maybe he wanted C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson.
Well, that's funny because Aaron gave him an A-, but Aaron is notorious as the worst drafter, so I don't know if that's really.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything. Sorry, Goofy.
Ignore that one, Goofy.
I'm looking through it here, and nothing really. Nothing. Yeah, that's the quarterbacks. Definitely, that's interesting in this round. I know, Sean, you're a Mingo fan. Did you think 11 was a little early for him? Goofy definitely wanted his guy there and got him at 11.
Slightly, but he wasn't going to be there at 17 when he drafted again. I think he just got his guy, and
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Good pick, Goofy.
I drafted Mingo in a similar area. I think it was pick 14. So similar area in our other league. And I felt like it was a little early, but it was the same thing. I'm like, I got another pick I got a pick a few picks later. I don't think he'll be there. Let me get him, and maybe my other guy will have a better chance of being there. So
The only reason I don't think he would have been there at 17, which is right where I would draft him in a perfect situation, is that Humpty went quarterback, and then drafted Jalen Hyatt.
yeah. Uh-huh.
unless he's watched his tape, which we all know he does. He watches the tape and he's well versed. Maybe he likes it, likes a New York wide receiver, which is weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We talked about him being one of the guys that would be overdrafted, and I kind of feel like he was too. I was just kind of out on him unless he really fell down. Probably late third would have been where I might have looked at him.
Hmm.
But
What
yeah,
do
I
we
mean,
think about Ian's 3 picks in the second round? The second round king over here, taking Miller, Mayer, and Downs.
I
He
like
has
the
the
Miller
case for
pick.
Downs.
I
Not
like the
shocked.
Miller. I like the Miller pick. It might have been. I think it's earlier than he was going in a lot of drafts, but I don't think that's a bad pick. Um,
Yeah, I think his best pick was probably that Miller pick there.
yeah, wasn't a bad spot for him. Mayer was a little, I don't know, a little surprising. Maybe not. I don't know. Mayer's one of those guys. He had a lot of production in college. We'll have to see how it translates. I guess the one thing Ian knows is uh, is McDaniel's and how McDaniel's uses tight end. So maybe he's onto a little something there. I'll definitely give him some credit
Wait,
for the situation. Could be a good situation there, you know.
wasn't it the Patriots, fucking Pooh Crew's favorite team that drafted that not drafted, but got 2 top end tight ends in free agency and then just forgot that they were on the team and never used them?
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just some
I
weird
remember that.
stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
that's
because
the
I
thing,
had
right?
Janu and I was excited. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, but yeah, it just and I turned down trades for him and everything, but it just didn't materialize. But who knows what's going on there, man? It's been kind of a train wreck the last couple of years there. So, which doesn't bother me. They can suck as long as they want to. That's just fine. After all that success, they can just suck as long as they want to. He did pick Josh Downs. What do you guys think about that? My thing is it's um, they got Richardson. You know how it's
He'll be a good wide receiver 3, Josh Downs.
yeah.
I don't mind it too much. I think for me, I would bank on, or I guess there, I'd be banking on rookie quarterback, rookie wide receiver, something weird might happen kind of thing.
Right, yeah, they could get some chemistry going.
Mm.
I think Downs didn't he play like exclusively slot? Isn't he like a slot guy?
Yeah, because isn't Alec Pierce a
Yeah,
Y?
no, Pierce is definitely the Y, but yeah, Pittman's the X and Pierce is the Y. So if Downs is going to play, it's going to be there at the slot. So I think that's where Doolin plays too. But Doolin, he's had some flashes here and there, but never really grabbed the position. They brought in Isaiah McKenzie, who will probably play the slot, but Downs is definitely talented. I don't know. It's something about Downs
Third
this
round
year.
pick.
I haven't drafted him in any leagues. It's just I don't know, just something about him. I just never have been convinced about him, but I could be. He, Ian a couple of years picked Amon Ra in the second round, and that's turned out to be good. Maybe Downs will step up and be as good as that pick for him.
Well, that makes sense
Yeah,
because Ian was, of course, the only person to rate himself and give himself an A+ for the second round. So, yeah, he was the only one to rate himself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
tell him what I gave him.
there.
I think our loyal fans know exactly what I gave.
Yeah. He, he has to repeat the second grade. I think that's what you put on his on his form.
Well, the thing about Downs is that he's not going to cut into Pittman's targets. You know what I mean? And
No, I mean
Alex Pierce plays a different position. Like
yeah,
unless they
yeah,
start flopping him and Pierce on the outside, I
yeah.
don't see that Pierce really takes a big hit either. But you can make an argument that rookie wide receiver look for quick down and out. And that's your slot receiver. It's going to be a dude doing the slants or the line freaking drags and stuff. But I really think that they're gonna, as a rookie wide receiver, not Wookie, not a
Oh,
wide
Wookie.
receiver, but a quarterback. Richardson's gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, can I get a good rapport with my top wide receiver, Pittman?" And I think that's what's going on. He's going to start forcing it into Pittman, and Pittman's going to get all these targets. But
Mike, it's a shame you didn't have a Chewbacca button there.
Yeah, I wish I did. That's pretty good.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Yeah. Let me see. I think that kind of takes care of the second round. And I do like Marvin Mims. I'm a personal fan of Marvin Mims. Maybe we can quickly just talk about him. I don't it may be a next year kind of thing with Mims, but I think he was kind of an under the radar guy that I think Goofy did a good job getting him there at 209. What do you guys think?
his landing spot sucks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if
it
he
was-
went to a place that was better than Denver, he would have gone earlier in the second round. But he's got Sutton and Judy in front of him, and if Tim Patrick, the ghost of Tim Patrick, comes back, he's been known to get a lot of targets, and the offense god awful last year. What is Sean Payton going to do? We have no freaking clue, but we know that they have enough tight ends to fill a roster, so who the hell knows? I think that's the worst part about Mims. It's not about Mims' talent or his potential, but his landing spot and what's around him.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, there's all those trade talks early on about, you know,
Yeah.
people calling Denver about Sutton and Judy and everybody, and they ended up keeping everybody. So
Right,
it
right.
stayed. If somebody had left, I would have liked Mims a lot more. But yeah, I think it's pretty crowded
Yeah.
there for right now.
That's what I think. I think it might be a next year thing because I think one or two of those guys will be gone next year, and this is a guy that came in under Peyton and was drafted with Peyton. So I feel like he could be. Now, a lot of that depends on if Russell Wilson is anything or if he's just toast. You know, we everybody's kind of anxiously awaiting to see what Peyton can do with Russell Wilson now because we all know he sucked last year. Although he did finish the season pretty well, it was kind of went unnoticed because they were they weren't in contention for anything. He did finish the season pretty well. If anybody can fix him up, it might be Peyton. So that's why I was a little more high on him. I picked him thinking taxi. I got him in another league, taxi stash this year, and let's see what happens next year, kind of thing. So, well, let's move on to the third round. Anybody want to start off third round? Picking up.
Moving on.
This is the only round where nobody took a tight end.
There you go.
Whoa!
Third.
Yeah, it's weird.
And that's usually where you start.
Yeah.
NAO history.
That's where you should start. But you're right. Not a tight end in sight.
You
What do you
would
think?
like the top. I don't know. Like I think Pitts. I've been on the record that Pitts was drafted way too fucking early. He was what, third or fourth off the
Oh
board.
yeah, he was
He
top
got
5
drafted
pick.
way too fucking early. I
Nonsense.
think I drafted Kincaid too early, but I didn't know what to do at the pick, and he was the best value. And who the hell knows what Schultz is going to do in Houston, right? But to have 3 guys go 1 in the first round and the second round combined, and not have any in the third is kind of weird. Usually, you see like the third round is where tight ends start going. What do you think?
Yep.
Yep.
Not true. No, it's good point. No tight ends taken. Who do we like though? What do we like? I'll start us off with the Jaden Reed pick. Got to give the DBs a little bit of credit there.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jaden Reed. I think he was a little bit under the radar. I think if the draft had been a month earlier, Reed might have gone in the 5th round, but he did start to gain a lot of steam in the community, and
I was
and
gonna say
then-
I'd like to see Reed's ADP by week. or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, because I was on him early, thinking, man, I'm going to get this guy. I'm gonna take a dart throw on him in the 4th or 5th round, and yeah, you can see it didn't happen, and every draft. I've missed him in every draft just by a little bit, but I like that pick there. I think that's a good spot that they got Reed. I think that's a guy that could ascend in Green Bay.
I think Goofy again had some really good dart throws at running back. I mean, third round, he's getting some pretty good value here with Brown and yeah, I'm not saying that last name.
Jets.
Abanikanda.
Jets guy.
Abadakanda. Valakadabra. Like, but yeah, I think Goofy as a guy that I don't know where he stands in the draft hierarchy. We all know A bomb's real low, so his A plus is not great. But I'm giving some props to Goofy. I think he did really well in this draft as a general. That's why I gave him a B plus rating.
Mm-hmm.
But I like his third round because I mean he got both positions earlier in the draft, so why not take some dart throws on running back where I value if they hit.
Especially as Brees, and
Yeah.
I mean, not that Brees is ever going to lose the true one spot, but and at least Brees was like a pretty clean ACL only, so he should be back fairly soon, but probably not for the fully healthy for a little bit, obviously. So getting some depth there. I copied Goofy in another league. I'll say it. I did the same thing.
I would too. I think Abanikanda's got a good chance to get some playing time. I can't remember is it LaFleur that's their offensive coordinator? He's another Shanahan guy. So, Brees getting hurt, coming off the injury. I think it was a good pickup for him. Just another guy that can break off some big plays in that run scheme.
Hmm.
So doesn't hurt to have him along with Brees whatsoever. So I did,
Well,
and
I
then
think
even that late in the round was good. I thought.
the Chase Brown pick, I think the backup position for Mixon is wide open.
Yeah,
I
that was a good
mean,
pick too.
Samaje's gone, and because obviously Samaje was the clear backup for Mixon if he went down, and I think having a dart throw as a handcuff is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. I finally got to pick. It's my first pick here in the fourth.
What do you think
In
about
the third, I mean.
Deuce Vaughn?
I nailed it. As soon as we drafted him, I'm like, as soon as the Cowboys drafted him, I'm like, I'm drafting that guy. I'm taking him at 3-7 if he's there. I don't care who's on the board. Wanted him.
Are you in love with him because of his college work? What is it?
I watched Darren Sproles highlights through his entire draft. So, yeah.
And you kept hearing those comps. And,
oh, yeah. They're out there, and they're perfect.
So what you're saying is you think you drafted Darren Sproles?
Oh, no. I know I drafted Darren Sproles.
Oh, you drafted Darren Sproles.
Hey, where did Darren Sproles start? Special teams? Where's Deuce Vaughn right now? Special teams.
Yeah. It was a great story with his dad being a scout for him.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad being able to make the call to tell him he was being drafted. And the other thing was that whenever they talked about Deuce, he went out of the room, so there wouldn't be any kind of bias going on. So apparently they say that it wasn't just that we're going to give you a gift. They actually talked about him and assessed him, and we're high enough on him to go ahead and draft him. What was it, 6th round, I think?
Yeah.
Got him in the 6th round. So it's a good story. I mean, the historic metrics aren't good for his size, but dude was electric in college. So I'm hoping that they can put him to use. And yeah, if he can be another Darren Sproles, giddy up, man. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. John, are you looking at something over there? Is there like a apparition in the room or something? You're like
I'm looking at my big draft board that I have in my office, and I was thinking where I would have drafted the Deuce.
Well, tell us what you think. You gonna drop a deuce on us here?
No, I like the pick. Why not? If you got one pick in the 3rd round, Might as well pick a guy that you're real high on. If you think he's the next Darren Sproles, more power to you, my friend.
I know he's the next Darren Sproles.
You know he's the next Darren Sproles. All right.
I will tell you that Brandon graded FNG, gave him an F in this round because
Ooh.
he gave him a straight up
Brandon
F.
loves Will Levis.
Yeah, so FNG gets Levis, who's going to his Tennessee Titans, picks him at 310. I think that was a big part of the F. But then he goes with Cedric Tillman from the Volunteers in the third round there, who's going to Cleveland. And I don't know. You could see a little bit of home cooking there, right?
Oh, there's a lot of home cooking in this third round with FNG, man.
FNG picked with his heart, and Brandon said, "That's horrible, man. I'm giving you an F. You
Jeez.
you're a disgrace, man. You're a disgrace."
Damn, disgrace. He's on your freaking team, man. He's on your favorite team.
Yeah, they're rooting for the same folks, but I liked your pick there, Sean, of Mike Wilson. He's I think that was probably a little early. I think he's probably more of a fourth round pick, but not a
Well,
bad dart throw for a guy who was picked in the third round.
that's why
And
I drafted.
Nuke is gone now, and they've got a bunch of Smurfs there. They used to call those guys from Washington the Smurfs. That's Arizona's the Smurfs 2.0. They got all those little guys. Wilson's actually a boundary X, kind of a traditional boundary X guy. Big knock on him is he was injured a lot in college, but I like that pick right there because I think he can ascend in that. And who knows what Arizona's going to be? That's new staff. Maybe it's better, maybe it's not. Kyler, who knows what's going to happen with him? If they suck, maybe they go to Caleb Williams in the draft next year. But I think Wilson could be a big part of that team moving forward.
Well, I mean, when freaking Hollywood gets injured, because he gets injured every year,
He does.
that'll be one down.
He's small. He's one of the Smurfs. He's the biggest of the Smurfs, but he's one of the Smurfs. Biggest of the Smurfs, and he's a little bitty dude.
Not everybody's Devontae Smith.
I have Greg Dortch, just the same. He plays in the NFL, if you guys didn't know who that is. Because
I did not know.
He played here in North Carolina, Wake Forest University. Yep. No, I definitely was on the Dortch bandwagon. He started out with the Jets, and I think league or two I had him as a taxi stash. So not a bad player. He did all right. Yeah. Well, do we want to move on to the fourth round, guys?
Moving on.
We had a QB and a tight end taken in the fourth round, but otherwise we had I think some decent receivers and running backs taken.
yeah, this is the debut of Aaron in the draft. Finally, at 4'6", he got to make a
Wow.
pick, and he went with a tight end.
And he went with a tight end. Wow.
I think taking Booty at 401 was a good pick there, Mike. A lot of people were big on him for some weird reason. I don't have good feelings about him. But I think a fourth round flyer on a guy that was number one on the team, a bad team, but number one on the team as well. Maybe he can get his head on his shoulders right when he gets to the NFL and figures it out, and you got gold.
Thank you.
What I really want to talk about is this D+ rating that Humpty got from Landon, and I want to ask if taking 3 quarterbacks in the same draft is okay. Is that something that's beneficial to the team? How many quarterbacks can we start again?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think he got us mixed up with a super flex or a 2 QB league. Might have been some gummies involved. I don't know.
Let's hope.
I would actually like an explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
We
You could
want us on the NAO show. Want to fucking know why?
Because like the
Three.
first two, you could argue, who he's got Deshaun Watson, and so you're not going to start him over Watson, you'd think. But at least
Yeah,
those two, you could say trade bait, something like that. But
right.
then you taking Hooker in the fourth. That's not nobody's trading
yeah.
for that.
Hey, I'll even go on the record and be like, hey, I wanted to trade for Hooker, and he told me flat out no. So he's big on it.
Yeah, Hooker's interesting. But after you pick two, it's kind of I don't know. I will give him credit on Richardson because Richardson has been going at the end of the first round, and he did get him third pick in the second round. Not a bad spot to get him, but it's just yeah, three. You pick three quarterbacks in a one QB league, man. So gotta give you a little crap for
Weird.
that. A little crap for that. I did like his pick of Zach Evans. I was actually trying really hard to trade with Goofy for that pick. I was successful in trading in the third round and finally getting a decent pick there in the third round, but the first pick of the third round. But I was trying again here in the fourth because I wanted Zach Evans there. I thought he might go, and Humpty gave a little more, and he got Zach Evans. So I got to give him credit because I was going for the same guy there. You
Well,
got,
if I gotta continue the trend for FNG. Great, great effort in the fourth round at the end, getting a couple. Who knows what they'll turn out into, but phenomenal, phenomenal job. Also, totally unrelated, I have a trade request. So if you can just go ahead and accept that.
There it is.
Thank you.
There it is.
oh, that guy's brutal,
Jeez.
man.
That got weird there at the end.
He doesn't mean anything by it. I'm 30 feet away from him, you know. Um, my cube is 30 feet away from his cube, and I still have a lot of trouble communicating with the guy. Man, yeah, he's tough. And and I call him out like I told him when I was trying to trade. I told you earlier I was talking about I had some rough trade talks with him. I said, man, I know why these guys complain about you now. You are brutal, man. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's always like, it's there's nothing. He doesn't mean anything by it, guys. He's not ghosting you. He's not being passive aggressive. He just he just tunes out once in a while, man. He's still getting his dynasty legs.
Two
So
years in. It's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
It's okay. You know why, Mike?
Hmm?
Because he's on a winning Pro Bowl team.
That's true.
And all these picks are going to be on our Pro Bowl team
Next
for the third straight year.
again.
Again.
Everybody wanted Bijan, and we got him.
We got him.
I got Bijan.
We got Bijan.
We got him.
You and I. He directly affects us.
It is good to see him stay in the conference. We got Gibbs. We got the
Yep,
first
we
two
got
picks.
Gibbs in the
Got the first two
conference.
picks in the Pro Bowl.
Golly. Man, I bet that's not going to come back and bite them in the ass. Huh.
For years.
For years. Years.
I give our conference an A plus.
A double plus. A plus plus.
Nope.
The only question that I have about our conference, how many times are we going to win in a row?
How high can you count?
I can count pretty damn high.
Me too.
I like you might have to throw some powers in. Yeah.
Well, that's our show.
You don't end this, I end this.
I'm going to in a second here. You mofos don't quit talking about the damn Pro Bowl.
Oh, you want to talk about the Pro Bowl? Like, you want to talk about the Pro Bowl? All right, anything else in the fourth round that we want to make highlight of?
Oddly, I like a lot of players here, but we don't want to bog down too much. I like Tucker
Yeah.
going to A-bomb there.
Yeah.
I think that was a good
Tell
flyer
you
to take.
what,
I really thought he was gonna make it to my 5-5, and he didn't.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think he was smart getting him there because he probably realized he wouldn't he'd be gone in the fifth. So did he pick in the
Undrafted
fifth?
free agent got a bunch of money.
He did pick in the fifth. Oh, we'll talk about that in a moment. Oh my god. Anyway,
Let's get there. Let's hurry up to that pick.
Well, that sounds like a
I do.
doozy.
I will give DBs a little bit of credit. They
No.
did they did get they got a solid B from Ian. Ian was really
Nice.
happy. He was giving Evan a lot of props throughout the draft here, and gave him a solid B for getting Puka Nakua there, and at the end of the fourth round, as a
All right,
guy
Mike.
who doesn't have much of a depth chart to deal with there in LA.
All right, Mike. I think all of our fans, loyal listeners, want to hear the blasphemy that Ian's grade on my draft. What did Ian?
It was honestly, it was some weird British thing. I didn't understand it.
Really?
I don't know what it
Roman
means.
numerals
I
or
couldn't
something?
convert it to American.
Oh, to America?
Yeah.
Even Google Translate couldn't get it, huh? Dang, man.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
I asked him.
Moving
He said it
on
was
to-
kind of like just the brown food of Britain of drafts. I don't know what that
Like
means. Bland, I guess, and gross.
Yep.
Yeah.
Must have been talking about their breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss me on the day. they
Shepherd's
fuck it
pie
up.
of drafts, I think he said.
Oh Jesus!
No, shepherd's pie is too good. Maybe the
I love
bubble.
shepherd's pie, so
It's the
that's a compliment in my book.
it's the bubbles and squeak. Let's give it that. That's the thing, man. That's the thing.
I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
All right, let's move on. Moving on. Yeah, we had 4 tight ends taken in the fifth round, and I was looking ahead to our buddy A Bomb, who took I don't even know the guy's first name. Latu is the last name.
Does he have a first
He-
name?
Yeah, I'm
Cameron?
sure he does, but I mean
I
picked
hope
this
he's
guy.
not watching this episode.
Yeah. This guy he was not. I don't even think he was draft worthy. So it was weird to see him get him.
Oh, wait, tell us how you really feel.
And he had another tight end, so I'm not sure why he did that. I mean, all right, so who went after? Darnell Washington went after Trey Palmer, Kenny McIntosh, Keaton Mitchell. So I would have probably taken Washington, Palmer, and McIntosh over him, and maybe even someone who wasn't drafted. Like you got McBride, Mike, in the sixth round. I might have taken McBride over
What's
that
in
guy.
the sixth round? We got a sixth round?
Sixth round. How'd you get the sixth round, Mike?
Oh, right. I won the Pro Bowl. I was on the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah! I almost forgot that we even
that
did that.
was my Pro Bowl pick.
Friggin', I thought it was just another week, but we always win that week, so I just kind of throw it.
Yeah, it blended in.
Buddy Evan gave me a nice gift here, man. So just checking it out while you guys talk.
Oh, okay.
All right. So what else do we like? I liked I actually like these. I like this Palmer pick, and I like the McIntosh pick.
Wait. What's the number one rule to the NAO show? Not give Pukru any credit, regardless. Of
Yeah,
if he's a
true,
good or not.
true. I did do that.
You just gave
But
him
he's
credit.
But he's with your team, Trey Palmer. You got to be a little excited about him for the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
My hatred for Pukru is a lot more than my love for Tampa Bay, which is a lot excited. Even when they're bad, I'm still.
And how about Humpty? He takes 3 quarterbacks and only 1 tight end. He gets Schoonemaker or Schoonemaker or however you want to say his name, who went to the
Luke?
Cowboys.
His name is Luke.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is Luke.
I think that's his name.
Unfortunately, he's already hurt, so looks like the guy I think's going to be the tight end for the Cowboys, Jake Ferguson. Looks like he's going to be the guy. Some people are Hendershot. Schoonmaker may be the guy of the
I'm
future,
pro
but he's hurt
Hendershot.
right
I'm
now.
insane for the team. Hendershot is my dude.
Yeah.
You know that I dropped him, right?
Oh, you dropped him?
So you're taken up from Mike by default, dumbass. I was just going to get you to defend that. So tell me what makes you think Hendershot's going to be so good.
My thing was the Cowboys were going to draft Kincaid. Got real life draft sniped by the Bills, and then took good old Luke here. They don't care
Just
who
like-
they got on their team.
just like with Goddard, man. And look what Goddard's doing right now.
Yeah.
If Kincaid's that good, I'm just gonna freaking throw up, man.
I will love it.
It's like
Let's go.
the Cowboys being sniped at tight end. That's kind of a thing now. Anybody you guys liked in the fifth round there?
I mean, to be honest, it's the 5th round. They're all dart.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of stand. What do you think about Tanked Out Mike?
Well, I liked my pick.
Yeah, you guys did you pick him up in the other league there?
I think that I did.
The league that we
The
speak of?
TQB?
I
Yeah,
even
'cause I-
got Ian to draft him in a league that we're doing together.
I think did you draft him or did you pick him up on
I think he was a fifth
Waivers.
round in that one
fifth
as
round
well.
in that one? Yeah. Tell
Wait,
me about it,
wait,
man.
Pro
I
Bowl? Did they have Pro Ball in that one too? No, never mind.
he's
Never
he's
mind.
I mean he's way off my radar. What made you like him? Because I liked I really thought his teammate Tyler Scott was the better guy there.
Well,
And of course he didn't even get drafted. I think he was either a 6th round or a waiver pickup in our league.
well,
I think
he hasn't.
FNG got him.
Tucker, believe it or not, he has not killed anybody in Las Vegas yet and gone to jail.
Oh wow,
Henry Ruggs, though, he has.
Yeah.
he's got to pop that
And it-
carry, dude.
I mean, it benefited Josh Jacobs last year, but they were missing that kind of Henry Ruggs speedster role, and that's what Tucker. I mean, like you said, he's a 5th round dart throw, but I mean that's.
Yeah.
That's
But you've been
Tucker's-
all over him,
He
you
has
know.
1 touchdown this year. He is worth the 5th round.
No. I mean, when these are my draft picks, yeah, I always live in the 4th and 5th, so these are the guys I have to, I have to get excited about. He hasn't killed anyone, so I'll draft him.
You got to do your homework for sure to try to get any value.
No dead bodies.
You have. Go ahead. Are you still there? Were you talking, man? I was letting you go ahead.
No,
Okay,
I'm done.
all right.
Done with this.
I'm gonna give you a little live Trey Tucker stuff. So he was picked in the 3rd round. Of course, I know a lot of people gave Las Vegas crap for picking him there, but sort of like the Mike Wilson pick in Arizona, maybe they saw something that everybody didn't. He's comparable to Mecole Hardman,
He's fast.
so that's good athletically. 4.40,
That's fast.
which is really good.
I can't do that.
5'9",
I can do that in my
187.
sleep.
5'9", 187 is not. That's decent. That's decent.
I'm like
22
5'9",
years old.
155. That's pretty good.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. They picked him in the 3rd. He's a day 2 pick, so they probably have designs on him. So I'll give you some credit there. Picking him in the 5th round, a guy that was picked in the 3rd. I think one thing we ignore too much sometimes is NFL draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
While Sean spills shit all over his keyboard and microphone.
it's okay. It's only water on a keyboard. That's not bad, right?
Yeah, many of them survive that. So now I'll be interested to see what happens with that tank top. That's like I said, he wasn't on my radar, so I'm seeing things now that there's definitely some promise to him. McCole has been more of a gadget guy for Kansas City. That doesn't mean Tucker's going to be a gadget guy for Las Vegas. Maybe they got some plans for him.
What I'd like to
What
do
do we
here,
think about the draft in general?
I was just
All
gonna
together,
say.
all around.
I was gonna say that was my question, but in one word, how do you feel about this draft overall? I'm gonna go with underwhelming as my
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean, like, let me like during the draft. Yes, I only had one pick, but I had a first round pick, and I was just kind of like, eh, like I felt underwhelmed by this draft class, and the whole time I was thinking that I heard Evan's head fucking voice in my head. Oh, this draft class is gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be the best draft class yet. Blah blah blah. I'm crazy. Like I was totally underwhelmed. I
Yeah,
was totally underwhelmed.
I don't think the depth was there.
Yeah.
Expected more depth. I think I think it was I think there were a lot of good running backs because when I look through this draft and see where the running backs went, I just like a lot of them. All the way up to McIntosh at pick 5-9. Um, but the receivers were underwhelming and decent tight end class, but I don't think anybody was saying 23 was going to be a great draft because of the tight ends.
Yeah, tight end. Woo!
That was just like a
Sorry.
happy accident, I guess. I I will say one thing. You guys know that I gave Goofy an A. And what bothers me is that I think that I do a hell of a lot of work and Goofy probably looks on some site and goes by some rankings. I probably work my ass off and can't get a draft that good. And freaking Goofy comes in there with my fantasy pros rankings and kills it. I was like, how does he know this shit, man? How is he getting out? Because it seems intuitive. I'm like, yeah, I'm high on this guy. Why is he high on that guy? So I'm really worried that Goofy's working a lot less than I am and doing a lot better. So it's out there. My heart's on my sleeve, guys.
So I want to ask the question that I know all of our loyal, but so what's the trade offer that you got out to Goofy?
Me?
Yeah, you giving him all this love and telling him he's so great and
Well,
making him sound so good. What's the trade offer?
all
Who
right.
are you going after?
I'll let you in on a little something. We're talking. He's going to try to make a trade with Ian to get Dalvin Cook, and then I'm going to get Cook from him, but a lot less than I would have paid Ian. But don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll stay in the NAO show family.
It's our little I don't
See,
know, collusion is such a strong word.
no, Goofy's gonna have to pay for Cook out his ass, so we're all gonna have to have a moment of silence for Goofy, but we'll get him at price. I get it.
Yeah. I've got no trade talks with Goofy. We all know how that's about as fun as a colonoscopy. So but
Yeah,
go go
watching fucking paint dry.
go ahead, Mike. You had something.
I give this show an A.
Yeah?
I give
Yeah.
this one
Hell
an
yeah! Hell yeah!
I
I
have
brought good stuff today.
A.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling we're gonna get that across the board. All the guys that contributed grades to the draft show, they're gonna come through with the grades for this show. It's gonna be, gonna be nice.
I can't wait to hear what Humpty has to say about Landon's D plus rating on his own freaking draft. Good.
Yeah, that'll be it, man, because he was already talking about Landon was gonna be gone. As soon as he hears about that D plus grade, I think that's it. That's gonna be hitting the nail on the coffin right there.
Hell yeah! And on that note, this is the NAO show. And Ian, you suck.
You suck.